most people are only using about 10% of what ChatGPT can really do. It's kind of like buying a Ferrari just to have it idling on a driveway because you don't know how to drive it. If you're underwhelmed with GPT-5's performance, it's because you're using a random prompt without any clear direction. But when you use GPT-5 strategically, the results can be immediate. For example, one of our community members, Arlen, just using one of the strategies that I'm about to show you, managed to close 2 clients in one single day. And that's the difference between using ChatGPT like a toy and using it like a professional client acquisition tool. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 8 clear, proven strategies that you can start using with ChatGPT today to get your clients this week and not in the next coming months. Let's start with number 1. Is using GPT's agent feature to go and get you your qualified leads. Because if you understand who your perfect customer is, then the agent mode can do that for you. A lot of people don't realize that this thing can actually take actions online. For example, we help people rank higher in the search engine results. And to do this, I need to find people that have a website. The website isn't ranking really well, but I know with some minor changes, we can make a big impact. So if I use the agent mode, with this prompt here that I've already prepared for you, and it'll be listed in the video description below, it'll find me 10 perfect leads. What you need to do is make a copy of this whole document because all of the prompts that I talk about will be listed here. So I want you to go to File and make a copy. And every time you see something highlighted in yellow, that's because you need to fill it out. You need to do a bit of work here. So I'm going to copy this, go back to ChatGPT, make sure I've got the agent mode on, and let's fill out a couple of things here. Let's read a bit of the prompt so you understand what it's doing. Here it says you are prospecting and outreaching research assistant. Your job is to identify 10 potential clients in the insert niche within insert location. These are the things that you need to fill out. And then the rest is giving it the detailed steps that it needs to follow so that I know it identifies the right type of lead. And within that, it's making sure that it finds me the contact details and also creates a table with all the output, including an email that I can pretty much press send to that potential client. But let's go through it. So I'm going to fill this out. Let's try, let's say roofers in, and the rest, that's it. It should be able to understand that it needs to fill it out, and I'll hit enter. Now this should take anywhere between 5 to 30 minutes. You see that it's setting up the desktop here. This is the incredible thing that changes between the agent and any of the deep research mode, whereas the agent is literally spinning up its own website so it can do its own work, quite literally like an AI employee. And I just wanted to quickly show you that it's doing all the work, it's going through the whole website, it's analyzing it and really finding the contact detail of the person. And this is something that would take somebody to find 10 leads, like a human being, at least a couple of hours a day. So GPT worked for about 11 minutes and found me some potential clients. Let's take a look at one of the websites just to make sure that it would be a business that I would actually reach out to. So let's try this one here, First Quality Roofing Construction, to see if there have some SEO things that I could really fix. Reliable roofing backed up by insurance experts. Okay, there's nothing here that mentions the locality aspect of it, which is something easy that could increase their rankings and start getting them some leads. So perfect. I can see that the title tag is already pretty horrible. It says home quality roofing. If you know anything about SEO, you really should want something like quality roofing experts in Dallas, which is where they are. So fantastic. Already I can try and reach out to them. So the next step, which is a little bit of manual work, is to go out and email all of these. But you can see here that it's already given me the emails that I should send them. They're not going to be perfect. I'm going to be very clear here, but they are a really good start. And here, if you get yourself in a rhythm and every Monday run the same prompt and get 10 leads which you reach out to, I can guarantee that in the first 2 weeks, you will get a client, right? Now, when it comes to sending emails, I would highly recommend to go with quality instead of quantity. So don't just go for 100. You can if it's your thing, if you got your time. But what I would do personally, and what I find to convert a lot better, is to take your time and record a Loom video. So let's say I was actually reaching out to this client. You can get Loom. I think their free version allows you to have 25 videos, which is more than enough. And you see here that I'm recording a Loom video and I would tell them, hey, I just came across your website. I realized you have X, Y, and Z missing. If you just fix these things, it would increase your rankings and get you more leads. Always lead with value. But already with one single prompt, we ran an automation that got us 10 highly qualified leads, which we can reach out to without having to hire someone or get additional software for this. Number 2 is finding high quality ideas for YouTube. YouTube is arguably the second largest search engine out there, and the traffic that it gets you is very, very high quality. If you're not into YouTube, I would highly recommend it. It's one of the best traffic sources for us. The problem with YouTube is consistency, and more than that, it's coming out with the right ideas. But thankfully, you can give that to GPT agent and it'll come back with you with 20 ideas ready to go, even do competitor analysis. Let me show you how this prompt works. So in the YouTube research prompt that I've got ready for you, and yes, you will have to use the agent feature for this again. It says you're a YouTube research agent and ideation assistant. Your job is to create weekly video content ideas based on trending videos in a specific niche. This is really important because you don't want it just to research Mr. Beast YouTube channels if you are somebody that works in plumbing, for example. You want to get a bit specific. So let's try this out. I'm going to show you what the output looks like. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to start a brand new ChatGPT account. I'm going to go /, that activates all of the different tools that ChatGPT has. I'm going to click the agent mode and paste it here. The niche that I'm going to pick is my niche, so AI and SEO. And the YouTube channel URL, well, let's select mine. And it's going to understand what my channel is all about, the videos that have done well for me, and then research the niche. I think this is so incredible. And at the end of this little section, I'm going to show you how to leave this scheduled so it does this reoccurringly without you even having to prompt it, and it'll get delivered straight to your inbox. After a couple of minutes, the agent has done all the YouTube research for us, and it said AI and SEO weekly video report idea. Below a 20 videos idea for the upcoming based on a recent trend. So let's see. Number one, AI overviews are taking over Google search, AIO, and AI mode explained. Absolutely. AI mode is now accessible to everybody. So that's really important to understand. Not a bad YouTube idea. And it tells me, for example, start with a hook describing Google AI overviews. You've already reached over 1 billion users. Yeah, perfect. Let's go through these ideas. Video SEO optimization, not bad. Generative engine optimization, GEO strategies for 2025. That is definitely something that I would do, so it's understood my channel. I've actually done a video about this. I don't think I've done the 2025 end, so that might be a good idea for me to do. So now, how can I get this to do this every Monday? It's quite easy. I literally tell it, right? I can say, please schedule this task to do every Monday at 9 a.m. And a lot of people forget that we have a scheduling feature in GPT. We've had it for a while, but you can combine a bunch of things here. So already I'm going to actually get it to allow the notifications on the desktop. So when it finishes this at around 9:15, it'll tell me. There is one thing here that you need to edit this just to make sure that the prompt isn't so bad, and yet pretty good. When is it going to do it? It's going to do it weekly on a Monday at 9 a.m. Save. Strategy number 3 is working with GPT-5 to build a little web app on your website. Now, this might seem really silly and simple, but it works absolute wonders because getting traffic from AI search can be a little bit difficult, but if you can get that traffic, it is amazing because that traffic converts 4.4 times more than normal organic traffic. And that's not me just saying that, that's from a study by SEMrush, and SEMrush are kind of like the pros when it comes to traffic and SEO. And by web applications, I mean something like this. For example, we build an SEO tool, which is a free keyword research tool. I put the related keywords here. Let's go SEO with AI, for example, and see what are some related keywords that people are asking in the United States about this. So free AI image generator, AI writing assistant, perfect. This little free web application to this day is the one that brings us by far the most amount of consistent traffic on a daily basis. So how do you do this without knowing how to code? Don't worry, you won't have to touch a single line of code pretty much. All you need to do is go back to your prompts that I've given you, and there's one called the web app builder prompt. It's really nice and easy. What it's going to do is going to give you a couple of ideas. But there's a really important thing that you need to keep in mind. At the end of all these applications, you need to add some sort of call to action, whether that is book a call or submit this form, because whilst you want to get this traffic that's going to be brought by these little web applications, you also want to try and convert it as much as possible. There's going to be another section here on how to maximize conversions. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So I'm going to grab this prompt. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste it in there. Let's use our website so I can show you even the back-end process of how I would go about to do this. So I'm going to grab the prompt, paste it, and just at the end of the prompt, when you hit enter, it's going to ask you for some additional questions. So what's the website URL? What's the primary audience? And you probably just need a CTA, a call to action. So let's do this with one of our websites here. The call to action is going to be the free SEO strategy session that we often offer if it's not booked out. So that is the first thing that I'm going to give the GPT. So I'm going to go, the CTA is to book a free SEO strategy session. I'm going to give it the website URL. We help business owners and agency owners rank #1 in the AI search engines using AI tools, which is, I wanted to understand more about the business. And then finally, I'm going to get really lazy and something that you can do here as a bit of a trick. So instead of giving it the colors and the hex codes of how it should look so that the application doesn't look like it doesn't belong in your website, I'm going to take a dirty screenshot here and just give this thing to the GPT and say, for the color codes, look at the screenshot that I've provided you. That's our website. Okay, perfect. So now we've got some that I like here. I'm going to use #1, the AI SEO return on investment calculator. Let's use #1, please. Now, whilst I'm using Webflow, this will work for a Shopify website, WordPress, Wix, whatever, because all of the website builders have some kind of option that'll look like this, and that is a little HTML embed. That is where you're going to paste the code that the GPT is going to give us. So let's go back to see how it's doing. Okay, it looks like it's finished. So instead of just testing it, I'm going to just put it in here and show you what this looks like. So the code looks okay. I'm going to publish this and let's see what it looks like in the front end. Cool, so I've got the estimate of your SEO AI. So see how much revenue you could generate with a 30% boost. So monthly organic traffic, let's say I've got 2,000 users, conversion rate is 1.4, the average customer value is $500, calculate return on investment. Perfect. So your currently revenue is this, you could have this much, that's an extra $4,200 a month. Fantastic. Now, this is the most important thing. Book your free SEO strategy session. So I've solved the problem for the user, but now I've said, hey, do you want some more? You can click this button. And if I click on it, it'll take me to book a meeting. And you want to make sure that you've got a call to action in this web applications. Otherwise, you're not using it to the advantage. Number 4 is writing content in a way that's going to get cited by the AI search engines like Google AI, GPT Search, and Perplexity. And a lot of people haven't quite figured this out. I think that it's really complex. There's a couple of nuances to this. I'm not only going to give you a prompt that will help you do this, but I'm also going to walk you through it. And really, there are 4 main things you need to keep in mind when you are writing content that is going to give you the highest possibility to rank in the AI search engines. And that is number 1, you need to make sure that you cite all of your content, meaning whenever you're making a statement, you need to back it up by data. Let me show you what I mean. So let's say I'm writing a really simple blog and the secret to a healthy life. And one of my statements is daily exercise can increase your life. That's not necessarily an incorrect statement, but I'm also not showing any data. It's not backed by any relevant information. So one quick way around this is to make sure that I do some research backing up my statement and backlinking to this. So a really lazy prompt for this is just using ChatGPT and saying something like, find a source that backs up the following statement and then rewrite that statement, trying not to add too many more keywords. Make sure that you are showing the data behind the statement. Perfect. So it found me a solid source because it's from a government health website, which is fantastic. And then it's told me how to rewrite it. So regular activities linked to approximately 0.4 to 4.2 additional years of life expectancy. That is very, very specific. And writing this way just makes you a lot more trustworthy from an SEO perspective. So then in the back end of your website, when you're writing this, for example, we're going to rewrite it with the exact thing that it gave us. And I'm going to grab the source, and in the actual years here or the data, I'm just going to add a backlink pointing to that. The second thing you want to keep when you're writing is making sure that you write at an 8th grade reading level. Now, this doesn't only come from our experience, from our community and 10 years of doing SEO, but it also comes from a peer review article on how to do GEO, which says how to write content in a way that's going to get you cited. And one of the main strategies they mention here is if you write at an 8th grade reading level, you're going to increase your chances of getting cited by Google AI, GPT, and Perplexity, because the AI search engines like content that is more accessible by more people. And they think that 8th grade level kind of hits the mark. So if a 14-year-old can understand it, you're on the money. Now, this isn't saying dumb down and simplify your content. What it's saying here is making sure that, let's say if you can write something in 100 words instead of 500 words, do it, and don't use any unnecessary difficult language when you're trying to explain something. And that is the third point. When you're writing, you want to keep everything concise, cut the fluff essentially. And the last one is whenever possible, you want to add your experience. This is something that AI can't replicate, the experience of years that you've had doing your niche. So how do you write content like this with AI? Well, I've got a prompt for you. So here, the copywriting prompt. It says you're a professional content copywriter trained to create high quality SEO blogs. Okay, so you're going to copy this entire thing. We're going to paste it into ChatGPT. And you can see here that it's asking it to maintain the tone of voice doc. And that's how you get it to talk like you. Now, this is going to take a little bit longer, but trust me, it's worth the while. We're going to create a tone of voice for you. And all you got to do is find a piece of content that you've written in the past that sounds like you. Here's one that I wrote before about GPT-5 and how to use it for businesses, much like this blog post here. And I'm going to go to a new conversation with ChatGPT, and you're going to tell it something very simple like, turn the following content into a tone of voice document. This is something that I wrote before. I want you to distill it into a simple to understand and easy to follow tone of voice document, something that you would give a content copywriter. Don't overcomplicate it. This isn't very technical that it needs to do, so you don't need to use the smartest language model. Something like GPT-5, the instant one, is more than enough. Perfect. So I'm going to copy this and just grab a Google Doc, and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to name this tone of voice guide and download it as a text file. Okay, now with the hard work done, we can go back to ChatGPT. This is the prompt with the copywriting prompt, and I'm going to hit enter. Perfect. So now it's going to say, what do you want me to build a blog post around? Let's say how AI is going to change education. Great. And it's writing and it's already sourcing the right stuff here. So you know that it's going to cut the fluff. It's going to be something that an 8th grader can read. Obviously, you want to try and add your own experience in there, which is something that you'll have to do manually, but I highly recommend you do, because that's going to make your content stand out from the other AI regurgitated fluff. Number 5 is have it analyze your Google Search Console data. Now, I know this sounds very boring, but most businesses don't realize that you're actually sitting on a gold mine when it comes to your Google Search Console data and your analytics, because this is telling you what's already working for you and therefore what you should do more of in the future. The thing is that sifting through all this data can be quite time consuming, and it can honestly be quite difficult. So this time I don't have a prompt for you, but I've actually got a custom GPT that you're going to be able to use. And it says here, Google Search Console Data Expert. You can see it's using GPT-5. It's just a little bit smarter. So in your Google Search Console account, you're going to go to Performance, and the past 3 months, let's say, you're going to export all of the data as CSV files. It's really important that you do that. It's going to be in a zipped folder. You want to open that zip folder, and it's going to have all these search queries, all this data, which can be an absolute nightmare to sift through and to turn into actionable insights. So I'm just going to drag all this thing here. Once it's all loaded, I'm going to hit enter. Perfect. So now it's giving me a bit of an action plan. So it's read all the data, analyzed it, and it's giving me some low-hanging fruit. So it's telling me here these keywords are dangling on page 2 or 3, which are opportunities because I'm technically already ranking for them, just not on the first page. So I need to do a little bit of optimization. And those keywords are SEO, workflow automation. Perfect. So it's right within our niche. This is good. It's giving me really actionable insights. So once a week, you want to go through that data and do what it's telling you to do, particularly improving your click-through rate. You'd be surprised how just ranking really well these days isn't enough. You need to improve the click-through rates from the search engine results page to your website. And it's telling you exactly how to do it. Number 6 is getting GPT to get you more leads on your website. And we're doing this by turning it into a conversion rate expert. This is going to analyze your page and tell you where you're making mistakes from a design perspective and where you could improve. Very, very easy to do. And again, I've got a prompt for you, but we need a few things ready. The website that you have, you need to either take a screenshot of it here, or ideally what I like to do is take a screenshot of the whole thing. I'm going to leave this free app below, and this just takes a screenshot of the entire home page, for example. You should do this with your services pages and all your pages that are actually going to make you money. We're going to go to ChatGPT and start a brand new conversation. We're going to give it the screenshot. And while that's loading, let's go back to our prompt. And the one that says CRO expert, we're going to copy this entire thing. Go back to the conversation and we're going to paste it in there. We're going to give it a while. Okay, and it's giving us a bit of a teardown. Business summary, CTA analysis, services exist somewhere, no contact form, way down in Narnia. It's being a bit snarky, I like it. No primary CTA above the fold. Empowering your doctor's success is a slogan, not an action. The visible button says read more, which is the conversion equivalent of a shrug. This is kind of perfect. If we take a look at the website here, the first fold means the first thing we see on the site without scrolling down. And it's right, this is a tagline, this isn't really a H1, and there's no button. There's no button at all. The first button is here and it's read more, not book a call today or hire me to train your dog. This website's about dog training. So already we need to do something like this, and that is where we would put the CTA. If we were to add this as a heading and then this as CTA, I could guarantee we would get a lot more conversions for the traffic that this website is generating. Number 7 is getting GPT to create a proposal for you that the client will not say no to. Because let's say we've done all the traffic, we've done the hard yards, and we've got that lead. Now we need to convert that lead into a client. And if we get on a meeting with them, I highly recommend that you use some sort of free meeting recording software. The one that I use all the time, and it's free, is Fathom. At least the free version is more than enough for most business owners. So you can see here, I've done a meeting before, I converted it into a client. But if I go to transcript, that is the entire transcript of the conversation. And I've got all the data there. I've got all the information telling me what the client is struggling with, how I can help them, so on and so forth. So all I got to do is copy the transcript, right? I'm going to go to ChatGPT, paste that in there. I'm just going to segment this here and go transcript. And then above this, I'm going to paste the prompt that I've got ready for you. And this is going to draft up a proposal. Copy, GPT, paste, perfect, hit enter. Let's see what it comes up with. Now, obviously, the more information that you give this prompt in terms of what you actually serve, what's your service, what's your pricing and everything like that, it's going to do a lot better job. But I wanted to make this broad and show you that this can be a tool that'll take you from getting more traffic to getting more leads to actually converting that client when you use it correctly. Now with this proposal, you will need to have to amend it obviously a little bit, but it's telling the client really quickly and giving you all the data that you need to make a really, really good proposal, because you understand the pain points that the client told you throughout the meeting and what it is that you offer and how you can help them. The more information you give this together with the prompt, the more it's going to help you out. And the last one is competitor analysis. The one that everybody hates, but probably the one that everybody should do, particularly when you're starting out. You see, doing competitor analysis can identify the gaps that they're not doing that you can really take advantage of. And this prompt is going to help you doing just that. And we're not going to be using the agent feature for this. We're actually going to be using the deep research feature, because we don't necessarily need for it to go through everywhere. We just want to do an understanding of what does the niche look like. You can see this prompt is pretty hefty. Don't let it scare you. I've done the hard yards here for you. You're going to copy this thing into ChatGPT. We're going to paste it. We're going to make sure that we've got the deep research feature enabled. It's also good to not just use the agent mode. You only get about, I think, 30 users every month. And with something like this, if I can split it up between the agent and the deep research, fantastic. So I'm going to hit enter, and I need to fill out a couple of things. So the primary niche, for example, I'm going to fill out is AI and SEO, the location, the United States. My site, I'm going to give it, perfect. I'm going to hit enter. And with deep research, you should get some follow-up questions before it goes off and does the research. Do you have a list of competitors? Nope. Perfect. So I'm going to say, I don't have a list of competitors. Any specific keywords that I'm following, trying to rank for are automations for SEO, how to do SEO with AI, and ranking #1 in the AI search engine. And this is going to take a while. Well, depending on the complexity of the niche and the question, it should take anywhere between 5 minutes to half an hour. So let's come back when this thing is done so you can take a look at what this competitor analysis might look like. Okay, so now after 12 minutes, it's given me a pretty extensive report of what I might be doing wrong and where are all the opportunities for me. It's given me an understanding of the market snapshot with the keyword, the intent, what everybody seems to be searching for. I mean, this is probably one of the most comprehensive reports that you can do. If I were to try and do something similar, first of all, I don't think I'd have the know-how, but it would take me a day or two and it did this in 12 minutes. So whenever you're entering a new niche or if you've got a new client and you want to understand the niche so you can do really well for them, then this is your first to go action. Getting a lot of information like this report can be fantastic, but often it can be overwhelming and we don't really know what to do with it. And one of the most underutilized tools of ChatGPT is actually the projects feature, because you can collect a bunch of information from everywhere and turn it into an actionable plan. And if you want to learn how to use projects feature completely and turn it into an expert custom content copywriter that's really going to 10x your productivity, you should watch this video that I already made for you that goes through this in detail.